side by side. Namaskar, friends. On behalf of HRDC Gujarat University, myself, Professor Preeti Mayani, is welcoming all of you, all the participants of today's online workshop. Friends, which is organized by HRDC Gujarat University on digital governance. Today, we have our eminent speaker of today's workshop, Professor Dr. Mahesh Jivani ji. So, Jivani ji, I'm welcoming you and I'm also welcoming all the participants of today's workshop. Friends, let me introduce first Dr. Jivani. At present, he is teaching electronics science to the postgraduate students of the Saurashtra University. He has more than experience of 20 years. His areas of interest are mobile application development, IoT, innovation use of ICT, e-content development, and digital signal processing. He has conducted so many workshops on use of web tools for teaching in national and international conferences. He has penned book and articles on interfacing mobile application development. He has successfully completed UGC research projects. He has successfully completed online courses from IGNOU. He is recognized as research supervisor by Saurashtra University. During lockdown, he trained more than 5,000 teachers across the country on area of e-content development. And friends, he is the mastermind of eVani. So, sir, I am welcoming you and requesting you for this session.
Thank you very much for your kind words. I'm audible?
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah. So with your kind permission, I am sharing the screen.
Jivani ji, we have electricity problems just now in our department. So, after completing your session, if we are not able to connect with you, so
I'll do vote of thanks myself. Don't worry.
let me conclude in this beginning. HRDC, you are very good friend of HRDC, and I'm also thankful for your this gesture on behalf of HRDC Gujarat University.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ji sir.
So I'm visible now. My screen is visible. Fine. So very good afternoon to everyone. Today we are going to discuss or think about the NEP 2020 digital governance or digital governance in context of NEP 2020. Right? So let's see what we have in this NEP 2020 digital governance. So once again, welcome all of you. So first, we'll talk about fundamentals of NEP 2020 or basic idea about what exactly NEP 2020, and then we will switch over to the digital governance or governance, and then after digital governance, and then we will connect digital governance with the NEP 2020. Fine. So let's see what exactly we mean by NEP 2020. So NEP means National Education Policy. So when we think about national education policy in India, we only have a few landmarks. We only have a few landmarks. The first, which is in 1986, which was known as NPE, National Policy on Education. So this was the first policy on education for India in 1986. Then slight modifications were added in 1992, which was basically an amendment added into 1986 policy. And then a very renowned, very well known amendment, everybody knows about it, which was added in 2009, known as Right to Education, or RTE. Okay, 2009. It gives idea about education is right for each and everyone, right? And after that, after such a long span in 2020, we have this current policy, or which is known as NEP 2020, National Education Policy. So these are, in between, so many others minor changes are there, major minor amendments are there, but these are the major changes in India as far as the education policy is concerned. Okay, so one is started with 1986, then 1992, 2009, and 2020, right? So these are the basic idea about uh, policy in India, or we can say national education policy, right? Moving further, what are the differences between, we are not saying it's a good or bad or comparing or anything, but we have two major policy. One was in 1986, and one which is just recently introduced, which is NEP 2020. So the first one in 1986 is known as a national policy on education, and the present which right now we have, which is known as National Education Policy. So, what are the differences, or when you go for comparison? Okay, so what are the major changes? So we will do only the basic aspects. We'll cover only the basic things as far as the changes are concerned. So in the first one, 1986 NP, were given idea about access and inequity. Access and equity, and the present one, the current one policy is talking about quality education. So the first one, when we say access and equity, means what? So access and equity means education availability and fairness to each and everyone. Okay, so that was the main principle or main focus of the policy in 1986, first one. Right now, the current policy is talking about on major three pillars, which is a language, technology, and modular systems. These are the three main things targeted by 2020 NEP. Major focus area: language barrier, maximum use of technology, and modular system, multiple entry, multiple exit. Okay, so these are the basic difference between these two major policy. And what other things? So basically, this 2020 NEP is provide vision and framework for connecting school education and higher education. So here the governance is start. So basically, when we are talking about digital governance or governance, so entire we will see later in later slides. Entire manual or entire policy is basically a good example of governance. Good example of governance, and a use of technology is maximum in this policy. So that's why we are going to discuss about the digital governance, how one can achieve results or landmarks through the digital governance. So this is a main connection uh, with the NEP 2020, or we can say in context of NEP 2020. Fine. So let's see. Now, when we see there are so many other key principles also there, but here we are discussing these principles of NEP in context of technology and in context of digital governance. So, in this policy, when you follow the manual, when you go through the manual, you will find extensive use of technology. Each and every stage, a technology is there. Then a second aspect, very important aspects, removing language barrier. Major emphasis is given on removing language barrier. Then third one, increasing access for Divyang students. Here also, maximum use of technology is emphasized to provide a facility and facilitation to Divyang students by using the technology. And the most important, which is a current area of discussion, education planning and management, which comes under the leadership as well as a part of governance, right? And here again, after governance, we will see the one framework which leads us on a governance part or a digital governance part, right? So many other key principles also there in NEP, but here we are just taken a snapshot in the context of technology and digital governance, right? Now, when we say governance, okay, so what exactly we mean by governance in normal terms? So let's see one small example. We try to understand with the small example. Say for example, any system or any organization at initial stage, when a system is popping up at initial stage, you can see system or organization grow slowly and slowly, and then at the growth part or organic growth, system has a full swings. System has full swing. Some part, when structure is large, volume is increased, scalability is also increased. Sometimes what happens, a common phenomena of mismanagement and so many other things are there. The system is not governing properly. System is not governing properly. We have to tighten the screw in so many other aspects. So and then what exactly happens, it leads to chaos. It leads to chaos. So at this stage, normally, generally, this is the ultimate or a worst scenario. We need one kind of a system or which have a set of rules for synchronize and governing protocols, integrity, discipline, management. Okay, and because of the governance, the system has asynchronous aspects. Okay, so this is a small example, or in connection with this, we will see how this governor can be converted into good governance, and then we will take a leap for the digital governance, right? So this is one small example to understand what exactly happens with the governance, and if governance was not there, then what do. So what exactly governance is all about? So governance has been defined to refer to structures, and this is from the UNESCO, by the way, not my words. I have taken from the UNESCO website. So governance has been defined to refer to structures and processes that are designed to ensure accountability, transparency, a responsiveness, a rule of law, stability, equality, inclusiveness, empowerment, and broad-based participations. One, in other words, a governance also represents the norms, values of the game through which public affairs are managed in a manner that is transparent, participatory, inclusive, and responsive. So this is a little bit descriptive, but if we go into Cambridge Dictionary, a very simplified in a very simplified way, Cambridge Dictionary is defining governance that way that organizations or countries are managed at the highest level, and it requires the systems for doing all these things. Okay, so these are the simple words available at Cambridge. If you type in a Google, right, what exactly the definition of governance, you will find all these things. Fine. So these are the basic idea about governance. Now, how we relate governance and what exactly governance is discussed in the NEP 2020 handbook. So let's see the organization of NEP. It has four sections, total 27 chapters, comprises of 66 pages, and entire manual is divided into four sections. The first section, which have 8 chapters, denoted as the school education. Second one is higher education, which have 11 chapters. Third section, other key areas, which have 5 chapters, where a technology aspect is discussed in separate 2 chapters. And fourth one, making it happens. A roadmap is given how one can implement all these things. Okay, and if we are specifically, if we have to look at the governance part in the NEP, there is no specific word digital governance, because here digital governance is accessed or implemented through the technology. So special 2 chapters are given in the third section. But when we are talking about only governance, so in the first section, school education, chapter number 7 is given efficient resources and effective governance through school complexes and clusters. In India, we have so many small schools. So how to make cluster of these small schools and how efficiently we can manage it. Okay, so a small school means in some schools, according to the infrastructures, number of students are very less. So how to manage this when complex is very big but students or stakeholders are very less? So how to manage resources efficiently? These are the things, and so many other things. I had given only examples. So many other things are also discussed in chapter number 7. And when we come to the higher educations, chapter number 19 is given, effective governance and leadership for higher education institutions, where technology aspect is also given, how leaderships and governance can be implemented through technology and so many other things. And in the other key areas, 2 chapters are given separately. So all in all, good combinations of technology as well as set of rules. Okay, we will see one by one. So apart from this, when you go through the manual, so many stages you will find the governance. Okay, and the implementation of governance through the technology. So in the introduction you will find SDG 4, sustainable development growth. Number 4, this is only for the education. If you Google it, SDG, then you will get the idea. Total 21 key indicators are there. In out of 21 indicators, 4 number is given for the education internationally. So in the introduction also, it is discussed that how through governance we achieved the task for SDG 4. Then also in key principle, a governance part is there. In curricula, chapter number 4 is also there for the schools. Chapter number 5 and 7 also, as I mentioned, that school cluster management is also discussed. And then chapter number 8, where accreditation are discussed through governance, through technology, minimum human, one can say minimum human access is intervention is very limited. Technology use is much more. Holistic education, chapter number 11, where uh, policies discuss about the technological development center, where technology is also developed for the educations, and education is also developed for the, we will see, for the technology. So when we have new technology, how to disseminate information about this particular new technology. Okay, so that comes under the part of education, right? And then teacher education, very two big platforms is available. One is for the school education, another one is for the higher education. For school education, Diksha platform is there, and for the higher education, Swayam platform is there, and integration of these two platforms are going on. So where technology is also used for teacher education training and uh, capacity building on training purpose. And then again on the chapter number 18, regulatory system of higher educations, where again accreditation part is discussed and minimum or the reduced human interface is discussed, and everything is developed or implemented through the technology or through the digital governance. So these are the areas where governance are controlled through the technology or implemented through the technology. So technology is very much integrated. When technology is integrated into governance, then this governance, normal governance, become converted into the digital governance, right? We will see in the consecutive slides. Moving further, now when we are say digital governance, what exactly we mean by digital? Apart from the digital, if digital is not there, then what exactly it is there? So if digital it is not there, analog system is there or analog world is there. Basically we are part of analog world. Okay, because analog quantity or analog world is a continuous, one cannot cut it or discrete it. But when we are talking about digital, a digital quantity have a discrete part, right? And which have generally yes or no. So all the devices which we are using right now in this world are a digital devices. So whatever the informations we are accessing through these devices, say for example mobile, so mobile is a digital device. So whatever the informations or whatever the messages or whatever the content we are accessing through mobile are digital, right? So and whatever the set of rules we are setting up, these all are known as a part of digital systems, right? So what exactly we mean by digital governance? So digital governance is a system that helps to establish a lines of accountability. All the set of rules of governance are established through the digital presence or through the digital devices and through the digital tools. So digital tools include websites. Now the question is, what are the tools of digital world? So websites, mobile websites, social media outlets, internet, products, devices, services, frameworks which are promoted on the networks, and also network products. These are the world of digital world. These are the product of digital world. Okay, so whatever the set of rules of governance you are implementing through these digital devices and digital network, which are known as a digital governance, right? So these are the simple example of digital devices which are ruling on us and which is known as the part of digital world, which stores the data, which disseminates the informations, which distributes the information, which does the transactions, and everything is done using the network connection, right? And it also provides a single window for access. So when you are establish a governance, so this is very helpful. Say for example common admissions, so it provides one common admission. Every student has to fill up only one form for various number of institutions. They don't have to go for so many colleges, and they have to fill the form separately. So it provides a single window for accesses. Okay, and where digital devices are helpful, digital connections are helpful, networks are helpful. And when I say digital connection or network, it means it's a part of internet, right? So these digital devices are part of our day-to-day life. Okay, and how we use technology in the governance, right? So we can say in the policy there are five dimensions or five pillar, which is one comes as education planning, second one is digital India campaign. In the later slides we will see what exactly we mean by digital India campaign, which is also part of e-governance. Then regulation through public disclosure, regulation through public disclosure. Fourth one, teaching, learning, and assessment, which is a main pillar or key pillar of our education learning process and administration and management. How this teaching and learning and assessment will be managed and administered, that is also a part of our governance. Okay, so these are the 5 things discussed in NEP 2020 in context of technology. How we achieve digital governance using the technology in NEP 2020. In India, when we discuss or we talk about governance or digital governance, kindly visit this website. We have separate infrastructure. We have a separate body for that. That is comes under the MeitY, or which is known as the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, which have infrastructure of e-governance or a digital governance. Let's see. I'll show you if possible. So here again I have a Google screen. जिसका कोई नहीं उसका Google है. So when here I am writing digital governance in India in the Google. Okay, the first site which is pop up is known as National E-Governance Plan. National E-Governance Plans. Here E means electronic. Electronics means digital. Okay, so National E-Governance Plans, MeitY. When you click on it, this directly page leads to the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. On my backside, you can see so many options are there: National E-Governance Division, E-Governance Infrastructure, projects, and initiatives. If I click governance infrastructure, so many known things you will see. DigiLocker, we know what DigiLocker is there. You can store your license, store your Aadhaar cards, store your mark sheets. Now government is planning to attach with the university and higher institutions, that university and higher institutions directly uploads students' mark sheets and degree certificates to digital locker. So it will be used for the verifications, right? So the number of problems of verification will be sorted out. So process is going on. So common service centers, so many My Government 2.0, so many things are there. If we click on National E-Governance Division, so many other things we have. Okay, so kindly visit this website whenever you are free. Again, I'll go to the e-governance part, and in the e-governance plan, if you click National E-Governance Plan, so you will get this page again. And in the project and initiatives, we have 3 options: mission mode projects, components, and other projects and initiatives. If we click mission mode projects, then you will see so many common things you came across. Okay, and in that, income tax is there, excise and duty is there. Here you will find education. Here you find education, which is a part of education policy. And when you click on education, directly it leads to the very well common website, which we know, MHRD, Ministry of Education, right? And we have 2: Department of School Education and Literacy, Department of Higher Educations. When click on, right now we are talking about higher educations. So this is higher education. In higher education also, we have so many other blocks. So the first one, which is ICT initiative. If I click on ICT initiative, then you can see the first one is Swayam, then National Digital Library, EPG Pathshala, Shodh Ganga. So what exactly we mean by Swayam? So uncredited through online courses, Learning platform of India, Swayam Prabha, second one, watch high quality educational programs on TV. Okay, so it's an educational channel of Government of India. National Digital Library, access e-content on multiple disciplines. EPG Pathshala, get access of free books and curriculum based e-content. Shodh Ganga, access research thesis of scholars of an Indian institution. Okay, get access to full text e-resources, which is e-Shodh Sindhu. And then e-Yatra forces access and volunteer for the use of open source software. A spoken tutorial, virtual labs, fantastic resources, those who are connected with the science, engineering, computers, mind-blowing resource directly connected with the curriculum exercise of practicals. So whenever you are free, just try to visit these virtual labs. University enterprise resource planning, this is the most important, which is basically leads to the digital governance. We will see separately this part. Then with one expert database, national research network, and Sodh Sudhi, plagiarism detection software. So these are the facility available on this platform, Department of Higher Education, Minister of Education. So whenever you are free, just visit these websites. So this is for the our e-governance planning framework of India. Moving further, this is we seen this digital governance infrastructure, right? Number of facilities, number of systems are there. Then moving further, we also seen this banking central. These are the mission mode projects available on the governance or digital governance websites. Each have separate resource or separate websites. So whenever you are free, just go through and visit all these things. You will find so many useful informations. So these all are part of digital governance. This is for the entire India digital governance, but our right now our area of interest is NEP 2020 or academic structure or higher educations, how we implemented through the digital governance. So that we will see. Now, when you move in the NEP 2020 handbook, section number 3 is specifically discuss about the technology. Two chapters are given, chapter number 23 and chapter number 24 are talking about the technology aspects, how we implement uh, so many things, or academic teaching learning process and management and planning through the technology, or in another word we can say a digital governance. So these are the two chapters. Chapter number 23, technology use and integrations, how we can use the technology and how we integrate the technology for the teaching and learning process and management. When chapter number 24 are talking about the digital divide and so many other problems and challenges, and solution is also given. So online and digital education, ensuring equitable use of technology. So basically it talks about the digital divide and other problems. So let's see how we can achieve, or how this manual is giving idea about this technology use and integration. So in chapter number 23, basically the idea is use of technology in education. But if you see, if you shuffle the words, or in other way around, if you take it, the use of education for the technology. So when any new technology came, we have to provide the education for use for that particular technology. So both are integrated with each other. So technology and educations are related with each other. So use of technology in education and use of education for the technology. So both are goes hand to hand. So one cannot remove technology from the education and education from the technology. Both are integral part of each other. And right, and here in the manual, a new technology are also discussed. So many other technology are discussed. Say for example, first one is AI, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, in the coming era. Sorry, yeah, artificial intelligence or virtual reality. So within a few months, we have a special kind of a spec, and we will see everything virtually around us. So number of people are working on this. Uh, so many companies are also working on this. Okay, that's why Facebook is changed their name from Facebook to the metaverse, right? So this is fascinating technology coming on our way. Then another one is machine learning. We are experiencing this while typing. Our keyboard is taking predictive words, so that device is learning, right? So this is also very useful. And nowadays, people are using translation facility in their devices. So where Google is also using AI engine, and machine is learning itself, right? So these are the things we are using, but we don't know that we are using this technology. Smartboard nowadays we are using in the classrooms. A contentful board is we have, and one smartboard is can be connected with another smartboard of same institution or another institutions, and we can share data from one smartboard to another smartboard. uh, Awesome facility, but we have to provide time to learn all these things. And then cloud technology, right now also we are using this cloud facility only, StreamYard. This transmission is broadcasted through the StreamYard. So again, we don't have to download any software, everything is there. We just have to use the facility available on the websites. So all the software, everything, software services we are using on a cloud or through internet, which comes under the category of cloud technology. So you don't have to download anything. Chrome OS is a such example that everything is available on a cloud. You don't have to download anything on your system except your data. That is also optional. If you want to share or save your data on a cloud, possible, very much possible. Then blockchain technology, we are putting so many data on the internet. Okay, so what about their security? So blockchain is providing security for our data. Thousands of students data will be available on the DigiLocker. Then what is the security of DigiLocker? So where a blockchain technology will be used, right? And then since last 2 years we are using this, we know what exactly we mean by online education. But whenever we are talking about online education, we always have to think about their pedagogy and curriculum. We do not have to convert our physical session directly through online mode. Okay, so which is not an online education, but their pedagogy is different, their structure is different. We have to think about synchronous session, asynchronous session. All this comes under the online education. Their curricula is different, their framework is different, their assessment technology is different, concept is different. Okay, uh, rather than lecturing, counseling is more suitable for online education. So one has to think about it. So which is also part of NEP 2020. Okay, this policy basically comes at the right time when technology is on their highest level of achievement. So we can take most advantage of this policy, right? Then when we are talking about or discussing about this new technology, so this new technology will not just change what students learn, but they will change how they are learning. So this is a big difference. Earlier, what happens? We are just observing what students is learning. Now it's a time that the technology will help us that we can able to identify how students is learning. So what to learn is shifted to how they learn. So this is very important, and which is not easy, by the way. These areas and beyonds will require extensive research both on the technology as well as educational for it. Okay, so by putting technology on a forefront, and if we think that things will be done, no, we also have to go for the process. A process is very important. So teaching learning, integration of technology in teaching learning process is very important. There are so many technologies are there, but how we are integrating and how we are taking advantage of that particular technology in teaching learning process, and how we enhance this our teaching learning process, which is very important, right? So people are working, things are going on. Now, when we say digital governance framework for the academic institutes, or we can say digital governance, so basically it boils down to the University Enterprise Resource Planning, or ERP, or University ERP, right? When we say a set of rules, so if you visit any college, any school, any university, or any higher education institutions, you will find most valuable stakeholders are faculty, students, parents, staff, and governance body. These are the main stakeholders, and each have their interest within the framework or within the organizations. And we have to develop a framework which connect each and every stakeholders, and they can get advantage uh, through this framework. So basically it boils down to the when we enter this digital governance, is basically boils down at the University Enterprise Resource Planning, right? So how it works, say for example, this is University 1, this is University 2, a number of university. So in University 1, again, office user is their enterprise lane, entire university lane is also connected. A remote user is also there, they are connected with through the internet. Another university same way, they are connected with the internet. So number of entire University of India are connected through internet, and through internet they are connected with the mhrd cloud. So this is how one can get the service. This basically idea is to provide a service at ease, right? What kind of service? Because when we say what are the problems of students, what are the problems of parents, what are the problems of faculty members, what are the problems of staff members, what are the problems of governance body, so each and every individual have their own interest and their own rights, right? So the first module we are talking about, which is academics, so where alumni portal is there, evaluation and credits are there, hostel management, program management, research management, student feedback, training and placement, and university facility, core communication systems, essential services, grievance management, health management system, library integrations, security management system, sports management system, transport management system. Then comes account and finance, fee and all this thing, bill tracking system, purchasing, budget and accounts, endowment portal, fee management, payroll management, research project management, then employee service, their CAS continuous service, employee knowledge management, leave management, total management. Okay, admissions, recruitment management, governance management, affiliation management, estate management system, file management and tracking, inventory management system, IT service desk system, legal case management, residence allocation management, and most important is RTI, right to information, right? So these are the modules which provides a common single window access for each and everyone, so everyone's need will be satisfied through one common structure, right? So and that leads to data management. So there's central data unit, content federation system, minute resolutions, archive retrieval, syndicates, senate minutes, governance body meetings, university ranking system, university web portal, and apart from this, organizational unit and user management system. So everything connected with each other, and one can get a single window access. And basically what it is, the entire framework work as a service architecture. So every individual, every stakeholder will get a service of their wish and their desire. Okay, so this is comes under the university enterprise resources, and government is providing this facility to each and every, planning to provide each and every university at low cost. So name of this program is Samarth. Whenever you have time, just go through. If I'll show you if it is there. Yeah, here we have University Enterprise Resource System, which is named as Samarth. So this is process automation software for university. So which is available on a Ministry of Education website. So whenever you have time, kindly go through. Things are in a processing mode, so one can get the advantage of it. So basically, this is called the digital governance. How your institutions are governed through the digital network, and people will get the single window of access without wasting much time, right? So here a digital framework or digital governance framework as a service architecture. Basically, institution is providing service either of teaching, learning, administration, anything. Okay, fine. Now how all this thing will be done? $1 million questions. 50% is already started. Things are moving very fast, and people are started working. Okay, a roadmap is also there. This seminar or workshop is also part of it. So let's see how. So it will be done by NETF, National Educational Technology Forum is already created, and they will do this job. What they will do? They will do, what are the jobs of NETF? Provide independent evidence-based advice to central and state government agency on technology-based intervention, build intellectual and institutional capacities in educational technology, envision strategic thrust area in this domain, and articulate a new direction for research and innovations. And how it will be done? It will be done in so many steps here. Variety of educational software development will be done. The earlier which I saw, that university resource planning software, that is also a part of variety of educational software development. Software in regional language, development of software in regional language, development of software for remote locations, software for the Divyang students, e-content development in all language. NCRT, CIT, CBSE, NIOS are strengthened, and they will given a task. Already they are given the task, and e-content made available on the Diksha. Diksha platform is specifically for the school. Teachers professional development through Diksha. Diksha and Swayam platform integrated across the school and higher education. So things are already started moving. Ball is already started moving, right? So and many others things are also taking place, but I had taken only 8 points because it is related with the digital governance and technology aspect, right? Now, who will the key players? So artificial intelligence will play a key role, and where the major player for India as far as the digital governance is concerned. So first one is NTA, National Testing Agency. Diksha and Swayam provides the training and teaching learning resources, and research for all these three, NTA, Diksha, and Swayam, will be done by NRF, National Research Foundation. Okay, so things are moving, and people are working on this already. Okay, now let's see the 24, chapter number 24, in the context of digital governance, online digital education, ensuring equitable use of technology. So what exactly, what are the challenges for this? So the challenges are digital divide, teacher competency, pedagogy, assessment, and scalability. and the scalability because of the volume. India is very large country, right? So solutions are there. Digital divide will be overcome through the Digital India campaign, where low-cost device and low-cost network facility will be provided to students and faculty members and all the stakeholders, so they can overcome the digital divide. Then teacher competency will be come across through the training which will be available online through Diksha and Swayam. Pedagogy also will be changed and created through creativity. Some different dimension will be taken place. Assessment has to be overcome, and digital assessment through a new approach, and scalability will be increased or overcome through the increasing the infrastructure, and government is working on this. When you visit this e-governance plans, you will came across what kind of changes are coming in our way. Okay, so whenever you are free, kindly visit all these websites, you will get the idea about to all these things. Now, key initiatives. Till that, what are the key initiatives? So let's see. The first one is pilot studies for online education is already started. So these are the key initiatives as far as the digital governance and technology concerns. A digital infrastructure is started development. So Diksha, Swayam, NTA, Parak, that is for the assessment aspect. That portal is also developed and people are also started working. So digital infrastructure, online teaching platforms and tools, which is also LMS, learning management system. Swayam and Diksha are the best example. Content creation, digital repository. Swayam also hosting number of courses, and they are also providing grants to create a course. So special grant is given to teachers for developing online course. Addressing the digital divide, uh, which is overcome through the Digital India campaign, and virtual laboratories. Whenever you have time, I'll show you. If you, whenever you have time, just visit VLab, vlab.co.in. Fantastic resources are there, which is known as the virtual laboratories in India, already there. So whenever you have free time, just go there, Ministry of Education virtual labs. You will find so many subjects. It's a fantastic resources. So whenever you have free time, just go and access this facility, right? Then comes chapter key initiative number 7, training and incentives for teachers. And then online assessment and examination, NTA is already there. Blended mode of learning, so synchronous, asynchronous class. So the Swayam credit, or one can say academic credit bank, abc.gov.in. Whenever you have free time, just visit. And also students have now freedom. If your university is in the MOU with the Swayam platform, so the students can also earn credit from the Swayam, and they can also get credit in their, this credit is reflected in their mark sheets, so which is also possible. So that is comes under the blended models of learning. Laying down standards, governance part is already there. Then journey is just started. So transparent public disclosure is there, as maximum use of technology is there. Destinations, it's a continuous upgradations. So after 5 year, if you go to the last section of NEP roadmap is given, so there pointers are there, or the landmarks are there, how many years it takes to complete this. Still, if it is not okay, then there are always space for enhancement. So these are the key areas. So in summary, these are the 5 things. If we cannot come across these 5 things, one cannot implement digital governance or use of technology in NEP 2020. The first one is digital divide, the second one is training, third one is pedagogy, fourth one is assessment, and fifth one is a blended learning, right? So what we mean by digital divide? Digital divide is a benefits of online and digital education cannot be leveraged unless the digital device is eliminated through concrete efforts such as Digital India campaign and the availability of affordable computing device or network. So this is the first one, that if we want to use digital device or digital world, then we need a digital connection as well as digital device, and which is a low cost device. So that is the first and foremost condition, then only we can achieve this. Second one is training. If we achieved this digital divide problem and digital connection problem, then we need a competent stakeholders to use this facility. Okay, so for that we need a training structure. We need a training structure, and for that we need education for the technology and technology for the education, right? And the third one, to impart this technology to various stakeholders, we have to design various pedagogy. We have to rely on a various pedagogy, because one mass of stakeholder is always different than the other mass of stakeholder. So changes are required in pedagogy too, right? And the fourth one, how much we implemented. So already we have to go for the assess things, then only we can get feedback. Basically assessment is nothing but a feedback. Okay, so online assessment also requires a different approach. Okay, and fifth, physical, apart from the physical resources, how much virtual resources or digital resources we can combine in our routine online teaching learning process. So that is known as the blended learning. Unless online education is blended with the experimental and activity based learning, it will tend to become a screen based education with limited focus on the social, affective and psychomotor dimension of learning. So right now also, sometimes what happen when we are attending any online training or classes, what happen, our device is attending more rather than us. So that's why sometimes we are saying it's a smartphone, because it's learning a lot rather than us. Okay, so we also have to think about it, that in online it's not only a screen time or a screen activity, we also have to blend something in online also, that a user must be engaged on the screen and they can use their brain and critical part of their uh, mind and soul. Then only one can get success, otherwise it's not possible, right? Otherwise it's merely a screen show, or we are increasing the screen time on a digital device, nothing else. So thank you very much. This is only word of wisdom, that technology cannot replace the teacher, but definitely technology enables surely replace the teacher. So these are the era of technology, era of a digital world. One has to accept the technology. You cannot stop the use of technology, but at the same time, we have to limit, or we have to give a proper dimension of teaching and learning. So we have to provide a proper curricula and what you say, pedagogy for the teaching and learning. So this is all in all about digital governance in context of National Education Policy 2020. Thank you very much, UGC HRDC Gujarat University, for providing me an opportunity to share my experience with all of you, and all of you also. I don't know how many people are connected over here, but thank you very much for providing your valuable time for listening me. Thank you very much.